Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be talking about the minimum specs for the game Horizon Zero Dawn as it is listed on Steam. The requirements are listed as an Intel i5 2500K on an LGA 1155H2 motherboard with 780 from Nvidia and 8GB of DDR3 RAM. So I pieced that together to find out whether or not gaming on Steam's minimum specs is actually a viable option for you, or if you actually need to upgrade your system. This is not the newest of titles coming out back in February 2017, but it's still a very nice looking game on high-end hardware. Alright, to begin this test, we started out on the favor performance preset, which dials everything back down to their lowest settings, some of them even being off. With this preset, I saw frames from the low 40s, around 42, to about 50 frames per second. The dips being in the mid 30s, the playability of the game at these settings is still there. It's not a bad experience. And if all you're looking for is a playable game and not the highest fidelity graphics in the world, this is definitely the choice for you. And you can definitely have a playable and enjoyable experience with this.
Eclipse, just like he said.
Uh-oh! Fear!
Acting as guards. The Eclipse and corrupted machines. Cooperating. Unhappy family.
The next setting I ran this at was the favorite quality preset. I also turned off motion blur in the process. So this time I was seeing frames sit around the mid 30s with dips into the mid 20s. And I never really reached past the low 40s. So definitely a big drop in frames on this one. The quality of the details in the settings is much different. It looks much better on these settings. The only problem is the frames that we are getting is not ideal. The biggest problem I saw at these settings was at times the sun breaking through the clouds was almost like a strobe light, blinding me and making it hard to navigate the surroundings. Though it is still a playable experience, this kind of breaks immersion, in my opinion. It makes it harder to get into the game. After my in-game testing was complete, I went back and ran a set benchmark for both settings to get a more concrete number that you could expect. At the 1080p settings with the favor quality preset, I received an average of 37 frames per second with a max of 65 but also a low of 6. Now this shows the large dips in frames that you can receive, which makes it hard to maintain your bearings when there's a lot of action going on. As for the 1080p at favor performance preset, I received an average of 39 FPS with a max of 69 and a low of 16. Now this is not a huge difference, but the lows indicate what could be a smoother performance, and this was my determination after the in-game testing as well. I saw that it was easier to move without the big hitches and glitches and tearing that I saw with the higher fidelity settings. So at this point the choice is really on you, whether you prefer the smoothness of the higher frames or to look at the best looking result possible even if it comes at a cost to your frames.
They've been from here.
At the end of the day, the point of the video was accomplished by providing a playable experience with the minimum specs at 1080p, which was moderately impressive. At this point though, you may start thinking about upgrading because this isn't the most graphically intensive game on the market, and it's definitely not the newest, and it is one of the better optimized titles that I've seen and played in the last few years. And this is all for today, folks. I hope you found this video informative and entertaining, and I hope it helped you out, even if just a little bit. If you did, think about leaving a thumbs up and enjoy the rest of your day.